All right, for segment 1 today, we have decided to get silly. We've decided, hey, it's December. It's the end of the year. It's the time for cheer. It's the time for merriment, mirth, and all those other weird words that people like to say only at this time of year. It's like, just want to, wrap it up a notch. And so we're going to talk about TOON. I can't think of any other time that we would ever talk about this game.
No.
So I think it's and we'll get through the first book today. We'll get through another book next week, and I don't even know if we're going to stream the week after that. We'll find out.
Yeah, it's a day after Christmas. Probably not.
I might, but Heathen Dog has family obligations. Stupid family. Why'd you ever get one of those?
I don't have to work anymore. I thought it was a good deal.
You know what? Yeah, you win on that one. And remember, RPG Digest is a live stream podcast discussion, not a concise step-by-step tutorial. We will deviate and go off topic and onto weird tangents, things that don't make sense, and you will enjoy it. Like we just did. Please follow us on Discord, Locals, and buy our merch. There are 5 examples below there, but there are a lot more than just those. We have 30 different items that you can, or not items, designs you can choose from, including Heathen Dog's favorite, right on this edge there. Players are the natural enemy of a good story. Player agency, not allowed.
Boom.
And follow and subscribe with notifications to our website, Odyssey, YouTube, Twitch, and if you want to donate money to us, PayPal and Streamlabs is by far the best way to do it. Otherwise, you're paying to the corpse. You're paying to the man. And, of course, we have coming up our 3,000 subscriber giveaway, which I have to, apparently I have legal obligations to say things like, no, we are not shipping this to overseas, Alaska or Hawaii, but we will ship it to APO FPOs. So, hey, if you have an APO FPO address in Hawaii or Alaska, you're good. But what we are going to do for our international backers is gift cards, something like that. Probably drive-through RPG gift cards. At least we can give you something.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to parse every person who lives overseas and doesn't. Let's put it this way. If you live in the States, you can earn one of these hardcovers. If you don't live in the States, well, you have the potential to get a gift. Yeah, well, buy your own gift card. But I'm not going to kick out the people from the States for that one because I'm not going to try to get everybody's address. It just doesn't work that way. All right. And I still haven't decided how we're going to do that giveaway. And he loves him some TOON. I could see you running TOON. I actually could.
Yeah, I never played this game. I read it years ago and I'm like, yeah, nah. It just wasn't for me. I mean, I didn't like all of the cartoony movies. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the one with Brad
Please,
Pitt.
will we?
Yeah. The more adult one that had Brad Pitt in it, I think, and somebody else.
I bought this book in 1991.
Good for you.
I ran it one time.
Okay.
Since then, it has not come off my shelf. other than to move around the world. I'm with Heathen Dog on this. I did run it.
Cool world. Thank you, Violence.
See, now you can't ban him anymore.
Well, no, I still can. That means nothing. But, that's how it is.
Yeah, it's not me. It's not how I game. It's not how my brain works. It's not how I think. I like the idea of it. Conceptually, I think, I want more people to play games like this, especially the way they play D&D 5e now. I absolutely am happy the game exists. You don't want me running it. You don't want me playing it. I am not wacky and silly in that regard. It's just not me. But I do know some people who could play it. And I'll tell you right now that the one time I ran the game, and this was 91, 92, because it was before I joined the Air Force, but I think after I graduated high school, it didn't go well. Didn't go well at all, because we're all D&D players, and everybody took it too seriously. I took it too seriously as the game master. They took it too seriously as the players. They were getting angry in the game. You're not supposed to get angry in this game.
No.
So, HD pants are the equivalent of hugs from other people.
Wow. I have properly set the bar.
So, but we're going to talk about it because, to be fair, I still think it is, I can do this. Swap this around because I think it is a fun game. I think it's a game that should get a little bit more recognition. And if this is your thing, if you like cartoons, if you want to do, you don't want to do the serious role playing, this is a great game to get into, especially if you have kids. Want to bring back the old foghorn, leghorns, and so forth. You know, that boy ain't right. Captain Caveman, Captain Caveman.
Yep.
I probably just scared all the cats.
Yep.
Yeah. This is not Nomar Hockman. Before you even type it up, it is not for Thundar. Shut up.
Thundar was not a joke.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was a joke, but not like that.
Sorry. All right, let's full screen this thing and let's start paging through. Now, good news is this, you can see probably the 212 up here. Most of this book are just a bunch of adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dorothy, I think that's it. Let's put that on the screen. Where is that? Boop. Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of why we're doing it at this time of the year, too. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. You put that in everywhere. Happen. Oh, it's either that or it'd be Tomato Thunder Barbarian. I don't know. Tomato people. All right. Which you can do in this game. All right, let's scroll through. Oh, there's the back cover. Let's get silly. TOON. And I am going to actually zoom in on this. Boop. Okay. Yeah. And we're just going to start right in. Again, most of this book is actually adventure, so we will get through the entire thing today because we're not going to read it word for word. We're just going to kind of go over it and talk what it is. So it is set in the crazy world of cartoons where anything can happen. The laws of physics work only when you notice them. I'm only invisible when people don't look at me.
No, that they don't mean that. They mean all of the times where Wile E. Coyote was chasing the Roadrunner and the cliff fell out. He didn't fall until he realized that he wasn't standing on anything. Then he fell.
Well, let's see, the Roadrunner is too stupid to understand the law of gravity.
So, the Roadrunner's too dumb to notice anything, so physics doesn't work on him. Or her. Is it a her?
I don't care.
Okay.
Gender neutral is he. Anybody says otherwise, a bad person. A special message for experienced role players. Yeah, let's actually read this part here. TOON isn't like any other role-playing game you've ever known. In most RPGs, the idea is to plot and plan, to think before you act, and to make sure your character survives, thrives, and becomes more proficient at everything he or she does. Forget all that. Survival? Who cares? You can't die, so you've got nothing to lose by jumping right in and having fun. And we'll talk about that later. It's actually true. You cannot die in this game. Yep. Think before you act? No way! If you take the time to think every action through, the game will get bogged down and nobody will have any fun. Action in a TOON game should be fast, insanely fast. Remember, you're supposed to be a cartoon character. When was the last time you saw a cartoon character do something logical? Act before you think. Here's something else that's special about TOON. Doesn't matter how stupid, weak, or inept your character is. Poor die rolling doesn't mean a bad character. Half the fun in TOON is failing. That's a message for Heathen Dog. Half the fun is failing.
Right.
Because of the silly things that can happen when you fail. So bad characters are just as much fun, maybe even more fun than good characters. And that's what I'll say happened in the game that I ran back in the 90s, is they took it too seriously. And when things started happening, because you will be competitive with each other, because the first adventure in the game is actually part of the introduction of the game. They took that crap. I'm telling you, they took that crap way too seriously. Like, you're a cartoon character. Who cares? He shot me. I'm going to... Okay, dude. So to repeat,
in a world where no one can die, being shot is not that offensive.
It's still a numbers game. Like they want to show my numbers are better than your numbers kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. Plus, it's high school angst. What do you want? So to repeat, forget everything you know and act before you think.
And that's the hardest part of playing this game.
There you go. Look at the Garfield wannabe reading the book. Garfield with a mohawk. Or is that Heathcliff? I don't know. Heathcliff, so unsure, terrified the neighborhood.
Nope.
Okay, what the heck does that mean? All right, so when you play this game, TOON, you're rolling 2d6 for the most part. Actually, I think for the all part, but it's pretty much you're rolling 2d6. So sometimes you'll get to make a special 10s and 1 dice roll. That's when you say, actually, I didn't read this. So yeah, it's 11. It's D66 in modern terms. Mm-hmm. So everything is going to be a D6 of some sort. So, and you don't run into these too much. These are more chart rolls, kind of like Forbidden Lands does it, and less about actual rolls in the game. So now we'll slow down and we'll talk. Wow, Noro. So we'll talk about the characters. There are 4 attributes. Each character has 4 attributes. Numbers that describe his or her basic abilities. These are muscles, zips, smarts, and chutzpah.
You don't have to do that ever again, by the way.
Oh. Again, see, Heathen Dog doesn't know how to have fun. He doesn't know how to be a super bunny.
No, it's just I really hate that word.
Oh, okay. Well, it says it right there.
I know.
I got to read it. Okay, so muscle is simply how strong the character is.
No kidding.
Zips includes, what's that?
I said, no, that's pretty obvious.
Zip includes speed, alertness, dexterity, and coordination. Smarts is just what it sounds like. Intelligence, knowledge, that sort of thing. Because that sounds intellectual when you say that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's funny.
And chutzpah is how pushy your character is. For all you New Yorkshire, it's what? Yeah, you see, it says it right here. It even says it's a rule in the game, like it's spelled, except that the CH is pronounced like you're clearing your throat.
Yeah,
it's a rule in the game. It's written in the book. It must be done.
Nope.
Character with lots of chutzpah has a lot of nerve. You have a lot of nerve. All right, character sheet. Character sheet. Let me go to the end so you can see what it looks like. That page? Oh, nope, that's errata. Here we go. You can see it's a very simplified character sheet. You're going to have some hit points. You'll have to draw a picture of yourself there. Plot points. You'll have some possessions, which, yep, 8 is, that's the number. A little description of your character. And we'll get to the skills in a little bit, but that's it. There's your character sheet. Nice and simple. Everything's a D6. I forgot what page I was on.
PDF page 8.
10. Yeah, for here, 10, yeah. So, look at some more of the... See, yeah, that right there is not something you want to do in one of my games. That'll get you killed.
But you can't die in this game, so it's a perfectly valid technique for doing whatever you want.
That'll get you falling down.
There you go.
All right, so the first adventure is TOON Olympics, and it gets you started with the game. I think it's a very good introductory adventure because it cuts out a lot of the extra stuff and just teaches you how to roll some dice. Just teaches you... what did my fault say? Do you really? What was that to?
Could have been to Mar Hawkman.
Oh. I don't know. All right, moving on to skills. Use skills to do things to other characters. It directly says 2 other characters. It doesn't say in the game. It says 2 other characters. They use their own skills to do things to you. Some skills can also be used against, and I just like the way it's written. It's like preparing you. Hello, things are going to happen. Some skills can also be used against inanimate objects, rocks, lampshades, walls, and so on. In TOON, you have 23 different skills. Each has a number or level between 1 and 9, which tells you how good you are with that skill. And you will roll 2d6.
Plus the level.
Nope.
No?
Nope. Roll 2d6, and you want to roll under your level, or equal to or under your level.
Huh.
So
okay.
if you have a skill of 6, you will roll 2d6, and you want to get a 6 or less.
Now, is it a 6 or less, or is it a 5 or less?
6 or less.
Okay.
So here, for example, if you want
to...
to
I see it right here. Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
All right. Fighting. One of the most important skills in TOON Cartoon Olympics and all through TOON is the fight skill. Why? Because you know what? 1950s and 60s cartoons always had people making these little clouds of pow pow pang, youch. It's got a very interesting mechanic for fighting, though. Interesting in the Minnesota way. If both of you make your fight roll, you both miss. If both of you miss or fail your fight roll, you both miss. Only when one person rolls a success, a success, and the other person rolls a fail, then damage occurs. And the way I explain that is, and maybe the book even does, but the way I explain that is like if you both make your fight roll, you're still dodging and weaving and so forth, or whatever. You're still in this cloud, just rolling around each other.
This is the cloud of uncertainty.
Yes.
Nothing is resolved until the cloud disappears. You don't know what happened until you see it.
Yep.
And until someone fails a fight roll and someone succeeds a fight roll, you're still in the cloud. So that means your state of being is uncertain. It's all very quantum.
Yeah, quantum fighting. TOON has quantum fighting. There we go. All right. Now, doing damage. For the most part, when you do damage, it's a D6. Almost all damage in this game is a D6. There are some that are more, 2D6, especially if you fall from something really high like Wile E. Coyote. But let's actually read this. Whenever you hit other characters or run over them, blow them up, or what's a defenestrate? I never even heard that word before.
That's throwing something out a window.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't know
exactly
that.
what it means.
Awesome.
Being thrown out a window.
I got educated today. Or you do damage. The amount of damage is determined by rolling dice, usually by rolling just one die. The number rolled is the number of hit points the character loses. Uh-oh. What are hit points? We haven't talked about hit points yet. Like that, the book recognizes that. Hit points determine how much damage your character can take. Every character starts off with 6 plus 1d6 hit points. Falling down. This is death. And cats have 9 of them. Waiting 3 minutes. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, in the world of cartoons, nobody ever dies. They just fall down. When you take more hits of damage than you had hit points to start with, you fall down. Which is bad, but not very bad. In cartoons, all sort of terrible things happen to characters, but they bounce right back in the next scene. In TOON, characters who fall down return to the game after sitting out for just 3 minutes. That's worth repeating. When you fall down, you're not dead. Sorry, my wife's in here bothering me. Thank you. In TOON, characters fall down, return to the game. Oh, sorry. When you fall down, you're not dead. You're just out of the game for 3 minutes. Don't do that. If the game is being played by the animator, which, by the way, the animator is the game master. Yep. And one player, you can ignore the 3 minute time lapse because that would just be weird.
Yeah, everyone's just sitting doing nothing for 3 minutes.
No, you can't go pee because that doesn't take up your time.
Nope.
After 3 minutes, you're back in the game. You'll be exactly where you fell down unless other characters move you. And you'll have all of your hit points back. Now, one of the things that I learned in my one time of running this game is that the game suggests that you play with 3 people.
Okay.
At least for the first adventure. I disagree with that, but I get why. It makes sense, at least for the introductory adventure, because a lot of things happen in pairs. So it just makes more sense. I will tell you that the game, from my perspective, was more fun by having too many characters, as long as the players know how to be silly and respect each other. By respect each other, I mean not getting into arguments, not over, because you have to respect the game as well, not overthinking everything, and not just cutting everybody off. Letting Heathen, almost in an improv way, where I let Heathen Dog do the weird thing he wants to do, because in the cartoon sense, he needs to do that. The 2-player thing almost seems adversarial. If that makes sense. That's just my take.
Okay.
Other skills. The same way you roll the fight, you roll for other skills.
Sure.
I mean, pretty simple. I'm telling you, this game's really simple. We're almost done with the game. You ready for segment 2?
And running works just like fighting. If someone's chasing you, that is.
Did I skip running? Oh, I shouldn't have skipped this because this is important.
If you roll running, both players roll make run rolls,
Mm-hmm.
and if both succeed, nothing happens. The person running away doesn't get caught.
Yep.
The person chasing doesn't catch. If you both fail, same thing. Now nothing happens until one person wins and one person loses.
I love
Spy versus Spy. Yes, think of it like that. Those spies should have been dead like 18 different ways after the first comic, right?
I love Spy versus Spy.
Yeah, but they just keep coming back. It's the exact same thing.
Yep. Now throwing, use throw a skill. First of all, the animator must decide whether the character is strong enough to throw the particular object.
There are ways around that. It is a cartoon, but we haven't gotten to that yet.
Well, you do have a strength stat though.
Yes.
So you do kind of have to utilize that.
That's your basic thing, but later
there's
on
still,
you can get off.
Right, but there's still a sense of fun as well. Now, you don't want a character that has a 2 strength to pick up a boulder and throw it at everything, because that character already has high stats somewhere else.
Right.
So that's kind of, come on now. Now you're just trying to go too far. At the same time, you want to remember to have fun. Don't get all serious about exactly how much weight you can lift. If it makes sense for your little 2-strength mouse to do it, do it. Dodging. When you're the target of a successful throw roll, you roll 2 dice and compare the roll to your dodge skill. If you make your dodge roll, you manage to duck out of the way. Notice that this isn't a contested or an opposed roll.
It doesn't matter if the person succeeded in hitting you. if he did, that just means you have to make your roll and not care about him, because then nobody wins. If he didn't, then it doesn't matter what you roll, because then both people, either both of you fail, which means nothing happens, or you win and he loses, which means you dodge. So it's really defender's advantage at that point.
If you have a high dodge skill.
Yeah.
If you have a low dodge skill, then
maybe not. You're right, but
because you have to roll a 3 or less, you're like, uh-oh. Now, fast talk is where I found that people get into a lot of trouble, because there are people out there who think they are much funnier and think they're better at fast talk than they really are. This is the skill for the person that you hang out with that always makes you laugh. This is not the skill for Max Liao. And I say that because even though some people said, oh, Max can sell ice to an Eskimo, it isn't about selling. It's about being interesting.
No, I want to explain it just like this. Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season. Bugs Bunny successfully makes a fast talk roll by switching it up and making Daffy Duck say duck season fire. Yes. That is an example of a successful fast talk roll and an example of a fast talk resist failure.
Right.
Go that way. Don't try and use logic. Don't try and use facts. That's stupid. That's a way to get the animator to drop an anvil on your head just to try and wake you up. All right? No, it has to be ridiculous and guttural. It has to be just visceral and immediate.
The stupider and sillier it is, probably the better it is for the game.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll use this last paragraph here. It says, you can try to fast talk someone into something over and over until you fail. Once you fail, that character will never fall for that line. For example, let's say Mac the Mouse fast talks Fred Bulldog into jumping off the cliff. A few minutes later, the two characters find themselves atop that cliff again. Mac can talk Fred into jumping again. Remember, funny things come in threes. If he makes the fast talk roll, Fred will jump again. And Mac could try again later in the adventure, but if he fails, Fred will be immune to that line of fast talk for the rest of the game. No, sir, not gonna do it. No, I'm not. You cannot make me jump off of this cliff again. Nope. So, resist fast talk, as Heathen Dog already brought up. Since you brought it up, you want to read this one?
Sure. If you've been fast talk successfully, this is your chance to save yourself. Try to roll your resist fast talk skill or less on 2 dice. If you succeed, you'll come to your senses before you do anything dumb. Otherwise, you'll be at your opponent's mercy. The whole game is set up like this. One person has to win, one person has to lose for any action to happen, for the most part.
Yeah.
For any action to happen. So it's not that someone succeeded against you, is that it's more like you failed yourself. Nobody does anything to you in this game. You screwed up and let it happen.
And don't take it personally. God, I say that so much only because I saw that. That's my experience with the game, is people took it personally. It was like playing Monopoly when or not Stratego, or Risk. Why are you going after me, man? God, that person's over. It's like, it's a freaking
dude, I need a card. I need a card.
Right? It's not about you. Fire gun. The last skill you'll need in Cartoon Olympics, remember, this is the adventure, and they're only giving you a few skills to use that adventure, is fire gun. In order to aim fire, if you make the roll, you hit your target. If you're being shot at, you can try to dodge to get out of the way. If you make a dodge roll, you don't get hit. Look, yes, bullets are speed of whatever. It's a cartoon. How many times did Yosemite Sam shoot at something before he finally hit it? Did he ever hit it? Did he ever? So that's all you need for the Cartoon Olympics when we go through that. And we will actually, spoilers, we are going to spoil that adventure for you. But that's because it's the introductory adventure, not all the other ones in the back. There are like 10 in the back of the book. There are a whole ton of adventures in this book. Plot points. Plot points are pretty much your experience points. There you go. Experience points from other games. The animator, Heathen Dog's the animator, so he can read this.
Okay. Part storyteller, part referee. All right. Oh, storyteller. Oh, shut up. Shut up.
You're telling a cartoon story.
This is a game. All right. So yes, there has to be an overall story for the hijinks to ensue.
Even if the story goes so far, actually, you hope the story goes so far off the rails that
Yes. I mean, this is the only game where player agency really is great because you want the players to screw with each other because it's more funny. But basically, if you read this book, you'll understand that everything done here is for the enjoyment of the game master.
Well, I'd
That's
say
what
the
it's
enjoyment
for.
of the players as well.
No, that's secondary.
Okay.
Absolutely secondary. The animator is the one who has to be tickled. You know,
I
you're
mean,
doing
you
a
are
good job.
animating it, so it's your story, right?
Exactly, right? You are dancing in the animator's hand, but you can do whatever you want because it doesn't matter. You can't ruin the animator's story. If I don't want you to go into a place that I don't want you to go, I can literally hit you with train tracks. I can put the world on rails. I could drop you in a train. All right, that doesn't matter, and it's completely legal because it's a cartoon. You know, I can drop an anvil on your head whenever I want to.
So the whole drawing thing, there's actually a power for that. You actually have to buy the power, which we'll get into our shtick that we'll get into later. But you can do that. You can do the whole draw on a cliff face, and you run through it, and then Wile E. Coyote hits it. You know.
Yep. Non-player characters are not bound by action system. Okay, an action is defined as everything a player says he or she is doing, up to the point where they try a skill roll. Each player can do as much as he or she wants, but once a player makes a skill roll, it's the next player's turn to say what he or she is doing. If another player has to make a skill roll because of what you did, that doesn't count as an action for that second player. It's a response to your action. So you can hold up the entire game by the rules and just monologue up until you make a skill action.
A good animator is going to say enough of that.
Yeah. That's when the anvil comes, you know, like whatever.
There you go. You're talking to it. Boom.
Boom. Okay. He's done. You know, like that. But you can
you forgot one step.
What's
forgot
that?
one step.
What's that?
The walking like an accordion.
Oh, yeah. You have to do that right after your 3 minutes. You have to walk like an accordion. Then you have to blow yourself up with your thumb to get yourself in the right shape, and then you're good. Yep. But this gives the player the ability to set up something. You can talk as much as you want before you make an action, so you can set it up. Like the rabbit season, duck season. You know, that was a long setup for a payoff at the end. So it gives the players the ability to set up gags. That's why you can talk as much as you want before you roll without wasting an action. Because there is no wasting. It's a setup for a gag. Each of your actions, consider them to be jokes, and the roll the punchline.
If you're playing correctly.
If you're playing correctly.
I said those words. I've been getting hit on a lot by some people about saying.
If you're playing the way the book wants you to play, it allows you to set up a gag the entire day and make one roll at the end of the day for the payoff. And that's fine. That's it. That's in the rules. Now the animator again can hit you with a bus or an anvil or have the world crack open and suck you in if you're being a douche about it. But other than that, yeah, we want you to set up your gag to make it an elaborate mousetrap of nonsense for a completely ridiculous payoff at the end. That's great.
But you said something very important there.
What's that?
Nonsense. The other thing that I saw when I ran the game were people, how do I say this? They were trying to be too intellectual. Like trying to tie it, but it's almost like when you try to tie a quote back to a movie nobody else has seen. It's like, what just happened there? It was so funny because of blah, blah, blah. If you have to explain your joke, it's not funny. Remember that.
No. Lowest common denominator. That is what 1970s and 80s Saturday morning cartoons were. Lowest common denominator. You know, if you want to play an intellectual game, try that one. This ain't it. All right. You're going for slapstick. You're going for pratfalls. You're going for mistaken identity gags, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's what you're looking for. And that's what the animator wants to see.
Yep.
Oh, that one says for animators only. We can't. La la la. Nope.
Well, no. This highlighted part here. It's also the animator's job to give out plot points.
Yes.
To repeat.
No, go ahead.
Players get plot points for achieving the goals of an adventure. In this case, for winning events. That's for the Olympics that we'll get into in a second. They also get plot points each time they do something especially insane, funny, or clever.
Yes,
Funny.
use your setup. Use your setup before your roll to set up the most insane gag, and then you make your roll. Now, if you hit your gag, boom, you'll probably get a plot point. Great. Fart jokes, my fault. Yes, fart jokes are great. You have to set them up properly to get the right laugh. But if at the end of the setup,
like Rick and Morty season 1 when he was farting all over Nathan Fillion.
there you go.
Well, I'm not season 1. It's season 3, episode 1.
Yeah, no, I get with their inside the brainscape thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, for animators only. If you're one of the players in Cartoon Olympics, stop reading here. If you're going to be an animator, keep going. The animator should read through the whole adventure below. So we're going to get into the adventure here. Anytime you're not sure, now this is a little interesting thing here that I think is great for keeping things going. Stop trying to be real. Stop trying to have things make sense. And I'm going to tell you, this is one of the areas where I really bombed because I tried to make things make sense because it's the way my brain works. But anytime you're not sure how an NPC will react or what's going on to happen next, reduce the situation to a yes/no question. Do the monkeys like banana daiquiris? Does the concession stand sell popcorn? Just roll D6. And a 1, 2, 3, the answer is yes. And a 4, 5, 6, the answer is no. It's called the 50% rule. It's really handy. I was like, well, would it make sense for him to have, well, I mean, it is a stadium, so there would be concessions. No, roll and have fun. Even if it doesn't make sense at all. And that's the answer that comes up. That's what makes a lot of this fun.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that can be the gag. I mean, of course monkeys would like banana daiquiris, right? I mean, they're made out of bananas. No, these monkeys don't like banana daiquiris because they don't like your human-centric or mouse-centric stereotypes getting in the way. So they purposely get away from banana daiquiris because they don't want to be pigeonholed because they've been pigeonholed by those pigeons before and it hurt.
And
I've got crap like that.
I've got to do it. I know he's already posted that it meant for another chat, but I've never heard of TOON. Do tell. Just messing with you. Hello, Albert. Thank you for coming by. Yes, we're talking about TOON because we're going to end this year off on some fun things. Oh, was it? Or maybe they just don't like to act. Oh,
nope, too much thinking. Nope.
Too much thinking.
There is a ridiculous reason for everything.
Yes.
You have to reach for the stupid in this game. The absolute most nonsensical answer is the right answer. That's the only way to play this game. That's it.
Now, this is a perfect setup scene. We're about to start a race. You've got our Russian hippopotamus, yep, and our New York, Brooklyn accent. By the way, you know it was the 80s and 90s. You got the cigarette. I love it. With your Brooklyn accent mouse right there, and they're going to race. Who do you think is going to win? At this point, I think the mouse is, simply because the hippopotamus is going to be dead.
Well, it's going to be shot.
Fair, yeah. Now, some things you could do right here is you could fast talk this mole out of the gun. If you make a good fast talk roll, if you're entertaining and interesting enough and make your fast talk roll, you could take the gun and shoot the mouse. Actually, it'd probably be the other way around. The mouse would probably, because, he's the one with the attitude, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Anywho, so easy way to run this adventure is with one animator and 2 players. We already kind of mentioned that. Let's scroll down. Location, it's any town, any dome. Let's look at our characters for object of the adventure first. Then we'll look at our characters. The object of the adventure. The cartoon characters will compete in 3 different events. By the way, if this is spoiler alerts for you, sorry. This is the introductory adventure to get you to learn how to play the game. Kind of like what you have at the beginning of Beckney D&D. There will be a boxing match. They can try their fighting skills. A javelin toss will have them use their throwing skills, and will be followed by a foot race so they can use their run skills. Essentially, it's all physically oriented, but you are there to add in the hijinks. The winner of each event gets a plot point. Character with the most plot points at the end of the contest will win a shiny new Fenord Motors sports car. That's right, Fenord. From the Great White North.
Yep.
Now, let's look at our characters. Mac the Mouse. Can you do a Brooklyn accent?
Nope.
Oh. Can you do Mac the Mouse anyway? Because I'm going to do the hippopotamus.
Okay, Mac is a cigar-smoking mouse from Brooklyn. He's bigger and tougher than most mice. Ordinarily, he wears no clothing, but during the Cartoon Olympics, he'll wear a track outfit and gripe about it because comic book code. Beliefs and goals. Mac loves to con other characters out of their possessions and brag about it. He has a homicidal hatred of cats and birds. Give him a gun and he gets trigger happy. Okay, now, how dare you tell me how to play my character? Shut up. This is to help you to get into the idea that you are someone else and you are allowed to do stupid things.
Mhm.
And your
What's
gun
funny
skill
is
is not very great for being trigger happy. Apparently,
that,
you didn't take lessons.
but that's what's awesome about it. Look at his hit points, though. He's got max hit
Fast
points.
talk is crazy.
But he's still going to shoot you first, ask questions later.
Yep. That's the thing. If you have a gun in your hand, you're going to use that rather than talk.
Now, the hippopotamus, Olga, Hipponova. Olga's very large, very...
Hippopopanova. Yeah, Hippopopanova.
Hippopovna.
Hippopovna.
Well, Ovna, I mean, as somebody who speaks Russian, it'd be Opovna.
Hippopovna. Okay.
Hippopovna. There we go. Olga's very large Russian. Very large, very heavy Russian hippopotamus. She is a full-time athlete, though she'd never admit it because of her unibrow. So she always wears track clothes. Adidas always the best. She tells everyone she's a ballerina. Oh, God.
She always ballerina gag. Yeah.
She always walks on hind legs. Olga believes in everything better in Russia. She will constantly complain about shabby little any dome. Stupid capitalism. The bad weather, the bad food. She'll try to commit all sorts of mayhem in secret and then blame anything that happens on another character, which he's the perfect foil.
Yeah.
So, all right. And you can see that she can resist fast talk pretty well.
Just as well as the other one can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Not so good at running, though. Or, oh, God, don't give her the gun.
Nope. Bad idea. She literally can only roll one result to successfully fire a gun.
Yep.
You're rolling 2d6 for everything, so the minimum roll you could possibly do is a 2. Yep. And that's the only thing that actually gets her a success in shooting a gun.
I never thought about that. How does a skill of 1 work? Like, if you only put 1 point into the skill.
It doesn't. It doesn't work.
Maybe, yeah, because, wait a second. Your attributes, I didn't read that your attributes fit into this. Did you? Did I miss something?
Where did it say that?
No, I never read that when you're rolling a skill that it's skill point plus attribute.
Oh, that, okay.
Did you read that?
Nope.
Start with the fight, doing damage, unless it's later. Oh, we haven't got to the actual all the skills yet. So
yeah, we haven't
maybe
even gotten the skills. Yeah.
This just says fight. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, we're not making characters yet, so they didn't have to introduce how the sausage is made. Basically, they just gave us the character sheets and said go.
From Herman and Catnip cartoon. I don't know that. Every time I think, I don't know, there's just something weird. Every time I see a mouse, I think of Top Cat. I don't even think there are mice in Top Cat. I don't know why. But, all right. So, opening scene. Welcome to Cartoon Olympics. Oh, welcome to the Cartoon Olympics. The banners are flying high over any town, any dome. The weather's beautiful, and the crowd is waiting eagerly for the opening ceremonies to get underway. The start of the sporting events of the century is just moments away. The torch is about to be lit. Oop, watch out! Ouch! Yep. And you got something running there. The first event is the boxing match. So this is and the reason these little adventures are these scenes are put in here is just to give you an idea of what can happen in the game, because I don't think, myself included, fully understands the scope of what you can do in a game like this. You see a boxing ring and a boxing match, and the first thing you think is like, okay, it's gonna be ding, that person's got a better fight skill, I'm gonna lose, blah blah blah. No.
Yeah, there's a completely other way to do it. Like for example, Olga's fight skill is 8.
Yep.
And Mac's fight skill is 8. They're equally matched.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
if Mac wanted to ensure his victory, he would use fast talk. I would use all of my setup. I have all the time in the world to set up this gag, convincing Olga that
she's got to resist fast talk of 9, though.
I know, but boxing in America, the winner is the one who gets hit. And if I succeed, she'll be like, "Oh yeah, okay." And then I hit her, and then I gain a point.
Well, there's one flaw to your plan. One flaw to your plan.
What's that?
And I'll actually read it in here in a second. You have to convince the ref of that, not her.
Well, no, I mean, if I don't want her to resist being hit.
Oh, I see what you say. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I don't want her to roll against it. I want her to just be hit, because then she'll be winning.
Fair.
Yeah.
So because there are things you can do, and in that context, that's actually a very fun way to have the boxing match go down. Or you can somehow get a gun. If he can steal the gun from the mole, you know, of course that wouldn't be in this match. But let's see what we can do first, and then maybe we'll show some ideas. It's located in the center of any dome's grass field. Have the two characters square off in the center of the ring. The object of the match is to make your opponent fall down or give up. The first can be accomplished by making successful fight rolls, assuming, of course, your opponent fails. The second can be achieved by fast-talking your opponent into convincing him there's no chance for victory. Or like Heathen Dog said, hey, we play backward here in America. Yeah, America's so backward. So I can't do a Bronx accent. It's like, you just need to stand there and get hit. So I'm just going to stand here. And if he's smart with all those hit points, I would take the first punch.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. You're winning.
No, I'm winning. No, I say, I'm winning. You hit me, I'm winning. And it's like, no, you got to hit me. Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. And then pretend that she's convincing me to hit her. That's the fast talk, right?
Yeah, players might also try to fast talk or fight with the referee in the hope he'll come over to their side and start pounding on the opponent.
That's entirely possible. Yeah, you convince the referee that he's actually on my team. And it's a tag team match, and her opponent just didn't show up. I mean, her partner just didn't show up. Oh well.
A lot of things you can do. If you're a really imaginative person, like I'm not in this regard. I'm not a funny imaginative person. I'm just not. So after each player has taken 3 actions, a monkey, we all know how much Max loves monkeys, will leap into the ring and start bouncing around, causing trouble. It will throw a cream pie at one boxer. If the pie hits, its target loses 1 action. This happened in the game that I ran, and the player got pissed. Like, again, freaking cartoon, guys. It's a cartoon. The monkey will then grab a pair of boxing gloves and try to fight the other character. If the monkey's victim falls down, it will turn its attention back to the other. The players can continue to fight with each other in order to win the event, or they can, separately or together, try to make the monkey fall down. If the monkey falls down, it will not return to the boxing ring, and the characters who put the last point of damage gets a plot point. I don't like that. I would give it to anybody who tried personally, but that's
no. I mean, they get a plot point for winning, but what if you convince the monkey using fast talk that the monkey is on your team?
Can't convince the monkeys. They're animals. That they have. You can't use any sort of social on them. They're just animals.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I think they even talk about it.
You know what? Nope. Screw that. That's too many rules. I don't believe in that.
Yeah, not applicable. They're just animals. These are just monkeys. They can't talk. They can only cause trouble. In a fight, each monkey will do 2 hit points of damage. Just think of them as like the weird crap that happens in a cartoon. But if that's the way you run it, though, you want them to be fast talk and you're running the game. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a freaking cartoon. Yeah. Do what you want in your game. But they're really just mayhem causers, and it works really well. But it says if the monkey falls down, it will not return to the boxing ring. And the character who put the last point of damage gets a plot point. That's on the monkeys. Mm-hmm. Now, the last boxer left standing in the ring is the winner and gets a plot point. Now, that makes sense to me. Win the event, you get the plot point.
Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning. Yeah.
Yep. If the monkey outfights both boxers, the judge will declare it the winner, and neither player gets a plot point.
Fair.
So then you have the javelin toss, which is you throw the javelin. Now, each time a character hits the target, the animator should roll a die to determine how good the throw was. Players can concentrate on hitting the target. You throw the javelins at each other. Let's see, where's it? And can try to dodge javelins thrown at them. Or they can try to fast talk the judge and giving them 6 points every time they hit the target. And you can picture that by having the judge moving the target for him. Because America always cheats. And yes, there are some other characters in here as well. Fred Bulldog and Fifi La Feline. Which is actually a dude, I think. Oh, no, she. Never mind. Yeah, got boobs. Can't be a dude. Well, in today's world.
Well, this isn't today's world.
That's true. Okay, last one is the marathon. This event is held on track. They line up, blah, blah, blah. Now, what's cool about this one is this is where you can get the fast talk the gun from the mole, shoot your opponents, come up with ideas, trip. If you've got the right skills, which you can't do in this first introductory one because the game hasn't presented them to you yet.
No, you only have 3 skills.
Right, but it's just to teach you how to make those rolls. But But if you were to play this with full set of skills, you could do all types of stuff, like use some of your items to, a big, you might have a big hammer and you smack somebody with it, boggling them. We haven't even got to boggle rules yet, which is something so insane that the character doesn't act for one action. Things like, that whole chin drop to the ground thing.
Right.
But this is supposed to be simplistic, but it just gives you a bunch of ideas. And yes, the monkeys freaking jump in again.
God damn it.
Yeah, when the 3 events are over, the player with the most plot points is declared the winner. The prize ceremony begins with a ceremonial kiss from the king or queen of the day, and a traditional Disney cartoon fashion. It's Hanna-Barbera fashion. The queen, princess, king, whatever, is wearing a veil, and when you take off the veil, it's something really nasty and hideous, and you don't like it. Kiss does 1 dive damage to the character who won, and Judge Mole hands the car over, and it drops spare parts on the ground as it's driving away. So, all right. But you get the idea of how that Olympic thing works. Creating cartoon characters. 2 quick ways. I'm going to breeze through this a little bit more. I think we already talked about most of the fun stuff. Now we'll breeze through this. You have a choice. You either roll a d6 for each attribute, or since there are 4 attributes, you can have a total of 14 points to spread around, which, if you do the math on that, is the average of 4d6. 7 and 7, or 3.5 and 3.5 and 3.5 and 3.5. So next step is determine attributes. Just roll 1 die 4 times, or do the 14. Now hit points is 1d6 plus 6. Then you write a description or draw a description of your character. These are all 4 different rabbit characters. It's however you want to do it. What does your character look like? Natural enemies. Now, there's a reason for this natural enemies. You have the Coyote and the Roadrunner. You have Sylvester, and everything. And Tweety Bird. You have actually, I like the boxing kangaroo. You have these nemesis. You have Tom and Jerry. So in here, you have a natural enemy. Players can choose less obvious ones. Where does it say the bonuses? A natural enemy is kind of creature your character's out to get, or which is out to get you. Natural enemies get plot points for making one another fall down. So if Heathen Dog is Tom and I'm Jerry and he makes me fall down, he gets a plot point. It's another way of just, increasing your plot points. And plot points are used for, increasing your character and so forth. And you can adopt less natural. Okay, beliefs and goals. Now decide. Now, this is supposed to give your character a little bit of feel. Bugs Bunny is Bugs Bunny no matter what episode you see him in, right? Now, right. He might do weird things like, have spear and magic helmet, or he might be doing duck season, rabbit season, or he might take a wrong turn at Albuquerque. But it's always still Bugs Bunny, and that's kind of what these beliefs and goals get into. Marvin the Martian is still Marvin the Martian no matter what. He isn't played differently in every cartoon. So that's what you do with these beliefs and goals to kind of find out what it is that you want your character species to do. And there are some examples here. We won't go into them, but oh, poor little bored-looking kitty. Does talk about beliefs and goals. What's that?
Dog catcher kitty.
Yeah, dog catcher. I was thinking butterfly, but you're actually right. Yeah, it's dog catcher kitty. So beliefs and goal in play. Beliefs and goals help players remain in character during a game. But what effect do they have on the outcome? For one thing, they determine how players get plot points, and plot points are of great importance to the development of your character. Now that you've played the Cartoon Olympics, you know that the animator awards plot points for doing something especially funny or clever, as well as for completing an adventure successfully. The animators should also get plot points for acting in a manner consistent. Okay, just wanted to read that so you knew that it was actually part of the game. Finally,
you could actually fail all 3 of the Olympic events in the beginning adventure and still come out with more plot points.
Well, thank you very much for the subscription, Raven's Lair. What is that? See what has to just oh my god, yeah, those. I've got to fix how those ads work. I cannot watch the Legion of Myth channel on Twitch. Like, that's why you always see me with the Legion of Myth account, not my own Max Liao account, because the ads pop up like every 7 seconds and they last 59 minutes. It seems it's ridiculous. I've got to fix that. But so stupid ads, yeah, you can drop. Yeah, we already talked about the anvil a lot. Thank you for the bits. We got 50 bits from Ravenslayer. Thank you very much. So Marvin the Martian is Bug. What? No. What? No, what I'm saying is that's what these beliefs and goals do. Because what does Marvin the Martian want to do? He
Destroy
wants
the Earth with his Q whatever space modulator.
Yeah, that was a Q-37 space modulator.
There it is.
Anyway, Daffy no Donald Duck is Bugs. Yeah, Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny. We talked about that stuff earlier. Yep. I was talking about natural enemies. Oh, natural enemies? Marvin. Yeah, well, Marvin the Martian could be one. Yeah, so maybe Bugs Bunny hates Martians and ducks. I don't know. Or probably the other way around. I think Bugs Bunny hates everybody.
Well, no.
Right.
Well, iconic figures like that, they kind of break the rules a little bit.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny doesn't have a natural enemy. He's the apex predator of cartoon land. You can't outwit him. You can't outthink him. You can't kill him. He's always going to win. You're always going to lose. That's just the way it is. Everyone is his enemy, but he has no enemies because he has no rival.
I think he's more of just a smartass or a foil. He's not even really anybody's enemy. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there are a couple of instances where he was the animator, where he was erasing things. Remember
that is true. Yep.
Yeah, where Daffy Duck was screaming into the
he takes off his bill.
Yeah, they just started erasing stuff on him. It's like, how dare you? Who's doing this to me? Who's doing this? And it zooms out to an easel, and there's Bugs Bunny with a pencil and eraser. And he was the animator the entire time. So yeah, he's an avatar of the animator. So he is outside the rules.
So we'll finish up here with possessions. So yeah, the top part's pretty full. Characters don't always wear clothes, but for game purposes, assume all characters have back pockets that they can carry. Viva La Dirtbag, your horse pocket.
There it is.
You remember that one? Just put it in your horse pocket. I love. Oh man. Let's see. I can carry an amazing, in fact, virtually unlimited variety and number of items. In fact, the mouse carries a human-sized gun in his back pocket. We saw a picture of that up above. I'm not going to scroll all the way up above, but you saw him carrying that gun, trying to hold it, like Soundwave trying to hold Megatron, right? Fred the Bulldog carries a big stick, lots of balloons and a firecrackers, matches, and a sack lunch, and a squirting flower. Wow. Use common sense when you pick your possessions. I'm not sure if common sense is the right word I'd want to use there.
No, just have a shtick.
Yeah.
And choose possessions appropriate to that shtick. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be consistent within the parameters of your gimmick. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. Things you pick up during an adventure do not count against your total 8 possessions. 8 is just a reasonable limit for things to start with. Make sure you're written down. All right. There's 2 superstar rules. So these rules are like advanced rules. Like once you know how to play, it's like, okay, let's do a couple things here. Make it a little bit more fun. There are 2 superstar rules. There we go. Regarding possessions. First, depending on your character, you may be able to count some unusual items as normal. That's kind of what Heathen Dog was saying. If you've got a shtick, that might be an unusual item, but it fits for you, so you can have that as.
So for you, it's a normal item. Like, for example,
look, they give one right here.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's Sherlock Holmes. He's a famous detective, so he would have a magnifying glass.
Mm-hmm.
Most people wouldn't have a magnifying glass just on them, especially a giant, oversized one, which this person probably has. But for a detective, you would expect him to have a magnifying glass. It makes perfect sense. So it doesn't count as an unusual item because of the character shtick.
Was it a shotgun? I thought he always had 2 pistols. And if you fall down and another character tries to take your possessions, he or she will always overlook something, especially if you're going to be in prison. You'll always be left with some item. The animator decides what. This is where things get a little bit too serious for me. Like, stop taking, I mean, unless it makes part of, if you're trying to take the gun that the rat, got from the mole, that's fine. But this really turned into something again. Man, players get mad. Just gonna say it that way. Gizmos, cartoon characters often seem to have just the right gadget on hand. Jesus, I can't talk. Gadget on hand to create maximum trouble or save the day. A mouse sneaks up to a cat's tail and just happens to have a pencil sharpener that will give the cat a nasty surprise. See, that's how you think in this game. You were probably saying he's going to have a hammer. You were probably thinking that he's just going to bite it. No, he got the pencil sharpener. That's how you play this game. Yep. Have fun. The rhinoceros. What's ridiculous? The rhinoceros dives from the helicopter. Can you read it? I can't talk. Apparently, I don't know English.
The rhinoceros dives from the helicopter and happens to have a tiny parachute that lets it float safe to the ground. Or conversely, you could have a thimble full of water and put it underneath you.
Yes.
And when you hit the ground, you will fit inside it and be perfectly safe. Jump out, dry yourself off, put the thimble back in your pocket, and you're literally hit the ground running. That's great. That's great.
Wow.
Do that.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't today, apparently.
I'll be back in a sec.
All right. Where were we here? How they do this? They're using gizmos. These are all-purpose possessions that become whatever you want them to be at the time you use them. Pencil sharpeners, parachutes, food, grenades, mice. Yes, mice are a possession. Encyclopedias, burning torches, pies, and anything you want. You can take one gizmo as your unusual possession at the start of an adventure. You can buy additional gizmos for plot points. All right. But you get the idea of those. So now how to do everything. So let's figure out how to roll those skills, because I got to be honest with you, I didn't see anything about adding attributes to skills. So let's see what it says here. In the list of skills on the character sheet, we got the 4 skills. We already talked about those. Each skill begins at the level, at the level of its controlling attribute. So there you go. For example, character with muscle 3 begins with skill level 3 in all muscle skills. So if you put 2 more points into it, you'll get a 5. Or if you put 6 more points into it, you'll get a 9. Got it. Makes sense. Now that's why you can't have the 1. You begin with 30 skill points that may be added to skills as you want. And increase from 3 to 8. Is there a limit to this? Adding 1 point to a particular skill increases it by a level. Only skill levels as possible attributes. I'm not seeing it. 5 is 30. Oh, here we go. No skill can ever be raised above 9. There we go.
Okay, so there's always a significant chance of failure.
Yes, at least at first. Maybe after you level up, it's different. But this is as you're making character. And by the way, since you stepped away, I'll say it here.
No, I heard it.
Oh, okay. You heard about the attributes?
My bathroom's right there.
All right. If a player rolls a 2 and attempt to use a skill, the target of the attack doesn't even get a chance to respond. So there's your critical hit.
Oh, there's your critical failure, yeah.
Thus, if your character is fighting with another character and you roll a 2 in your fight roll, you automatically hit. Your opponent doesn't always get to roll fight back.
Oh, critical success is the low. Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
it doesn't say anything about rolling a 12 though.
They probably, you know what? That's probably just up to the anime. Maybe that's a boggle. We'll get to that in a moment when you look at boggles. Because I honestly, even for my other video, I didn't talk about boggles at all. So I have to relook at those. But what if both players roll 2s? Because remember, this is a scrum type fight. You both just kind of roll. There's no initiative roll in this game. You both just roll. Well, in that case, I would just go back to you both miss. But how often is that going to happen? Somebody can do the math on that. What is a 1 in 36 chance next to another 1 in 36 chance? Sticks. Now, sticks were not allowed in that first introductory adventure because it was teaching how to play. Some cartoon characters have amazing abilities which allow them to do things not normally permitted under skill rules. This is where sticks, strange special superpowers, come in. For example, the bag of many things stick allows you to pull out just about anything you might need. Boop, I've got it. None of the skills could account for an ability like this, so a stick was created. Some sticks are described on page 38 to 46. I think there's another book, like from the first edition or the first printing of the game. I think there's like a whole book on extra sticks that I don't have. I have 4 books that came with the deluxe whatever. This one, TOON Universal Guide, Ace, whatever catalog with more equipment in it, and where the hell the other one is? I can't read it. TOON Tales, that's what it is. But anyway. For example, let's say you want to buy the hypnosis stick at a cost of 5 skill points and the flight stick, which costs 4. Those 2 sticks was it? The cost and skill points for those 2 sticks would be, what is this? In order to gain a stick, a player must spend skill points. Got it? The exact number varies. Some sticks cost more than others. A second stick may be acquired at the cost of an extra 5 skill points. Oh.
Okay, so if you want 2, you got to pay for 1, pay the tax of 5, and then pay for the second.
Wow, that's a lot of skill points. I'd rather just have the skills. But as you're leveling up or plotting up or whatever it's called, all sticks begin at skill level 5. This cannot be improved until the character begins to accumulate plot points. Okay. So you level these up just like you do your skills, apparently.
Right.
But starts at 5, and that's, for that first adventure, it's a 5. Deal with it.
Yeah, 2 is your maximum number of sticks.
So bag of many things. You can see some of them here. Improving skills and sticks. For every 2 plot points you spend, you can raise a skill. And for every 4, you can raise a stick. Highlight the right thing. There we go. Jeepers Creepers, this PDF. All right. Superstar players.
Jeepers Creepers?
I said it's a cartoon game.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So muscle skills. And this now starts to explain what the skills are with a nice little drawing of each one.
I like how breakdown door is its own skill. Breakdown door. What if it's not a door? Then you can't break it down.
Well, let's see. Locked door, similar barrier. If you successfully, the door is broken, your character staggers into the room. Also, use to break through a wall, leaving a hole in the shape of your character.
All right.
Got
it. Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah. There you go. Yes. Kool-Aid Man. Love some of the art in this game. Pick up heavy thing.
Oh, this is a special shtick. If you're a small mouse and your shtick is supernatural strength, you can pick up this giant car. That's your then throw it at somebody. Like, what the hell is that? And then bam.
What's the old Droopy thing where he used to go bam, 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 bam? Like he'd be real slow, but then he'd start banging.
Don't recall.
That was Droopy, right? I forget. Anyway, here are the skills. I like the art in the game. I think it's perfectly. This is your hide skill. I think it's very well done, very simplistic, very cartoonish, the way you would want in a book. They didn't go overboard with it. I even though the art's from the 80s, I really do like it. All right, scroll down.
Is a skill. That's good.
When I was younger, man, I used to laugh at this picture for. I don't know. There's just something about this. And if you're wondering what this is what happens when you set disarm trap and you fail. It also could be a failure of your identify. What is it? Identify item. Oh yeah, identify dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't identify. It's where the people on the screen see the firecracker or the bomb inside the cake because it's got the fuse out there all lit up, but you don't notice it, and boom, because it's a cartoon.
Fair enough.
How to build a better mousetrap.
There you go. Wile E. Coyote's special shtick.
Yeah, right. The insurance salesman. What's this? Oh, fly by night. Nah, I see that. All right.
Yep. Sneak.
I'm just sorry. I'm just kind of stopping at the artwork because there you go. That's how you sneak. See, take these things. Use them as get the brain juices flowing. Hiding in a purse. A big ass horse was hiding in a purse. Why? Because he made a sneak roll.
Yep. Doesn't matter if he can or not. Oh, it doesn't matter if it seems possible or not.
Yeah, there you go. Because you can. Yeah.
If you can.
Bob, you can hide from a wyvern right here. All right. Let's look at one shtick. Pick a shtick you want to look at.
Okay. Let's do.
Except for Cosmic Shift.
No,
oh my God.
I'm not doing that. Incredible speed.
Incredible speed. Okay. Not luck. Speed. You can run incredibly fast, even faster than the character who makes a successful run skill roll. So this is Speedy Gonzalez. So even though anybody else could make a successful skill roll and run fast, you're still Reba underlay out of there.
Yeah. That or the Wile the Roadrunner has this as well.
Yep. That's right. Now remember, those are iconic characters. They've leveled up their plot points. So their rolls are going to be better than a 5. You start off with just a 5. You have to roll a 5 or less. But as you level it up, that becomes more prevalent to you. If you make your incredible speed roll, you automatically get away from or catch anyone or anything except another character with incredible speed. Anyone
and then
you run
instead of rolling off against run, you roll off with your shtick.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And anyone you run past is spun around and knocked to the ground by your jet stream.
Makes sense.
Any character you knock down in this way loses neck deck. Now, here's the thing about this. This is essentially a boggle, except for you don't roll for the boggle effect. It gave you the boggle effect.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens with the boggles. You lose your next action. Well, any characters you knock down in this way lose their next action. It's just giving you the effect there. If your incredible speed roll fails, you trip or run into the nearest obstacle. Ouch. Come to a sudden stop. Oh my God. Halt. There we go. That's a word. And take 1 die of damage yourself. So be careful. At first, when you use this ability, you're going to be boggling yourself.
Fall down a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but that's why you raise it up. The obstacle takes no damage. Just remember that. So you're not breaking through a wall doing that. The character stuck foot out and tripped you. The wall is harder than you are. Tree can spring back and absorb the impact.
Here's the thing. When you choose incredible speed, decide whether it works on land, sea, or in the air. You can choose only one of these. This means a sea serpent could have incredible speed in the water, but not on land or air.
Makes sense, yeah.
Roadrunner might have incredible speed on land, but not in water or air, and so on. If you want incredible speed on land and the air, you can buy incredible speed shtick twice, paying a total of 17 points.
Wow.
So incredible speed costs 6. You want it twice, that's 12. And then plus 5 for the second shtick penalty, total of 17.
Yeah, Nerdy Ogre, paint the tunnel and go through. That's Cosmic Shift. I don't want to read that one because Cosmic Shift is like your catch-all. All right, if you can't think about it, there you go. This is how you do the most impossible stuff is Cosmic Shift. And when I played, everybody took Cosmic Shift because they all thought they had imaginations and then never used it. All right. Where do we get to the boggling? See, think about stuff like this. This is a disguise. Nobody can recognize him. He's not there. Why? Because he made his disguise roll.
Yep.
Doesn't matter that you see a lampshade over him. It's a cartoon. Okay. Personalized sticks. You can do that. Sticks usable on others. Again, I like this one. I don't know. There's always something I liked about this. I show this one on the 10-minute introduction also. There you go. Fine tuning. Let's just scroll down. This talks basically about how to do GMing and a little more advanced character stuff. What I want to do. I didn't expect that. Where is it? There's a 50% rule. Illogical logic. This is for Heathen Dog.
There it is.
This is quantum magic. Characters can sometimes do things which are impossible, but which possess their own bizarre logic. For example, an ostrich being chased might stop and plunge its head into the sand. In this case, the chasers might stop, look around, and fail to see the ostrich. You have to get yourself into that kind of mindset, which I struggle with. Even though the ostrich is in plain view, it is convinced that if it can't see its pursuers, they cannot see it. In the TOON universe, there's a chance the ostrich might be right. So that's when you roll smarts and figure it out. You have instant mail, cause and effect. I'm just scrolling down until I find boggling. Boggling. Oh, there we go. A character who is presented with something totally unexpected will be boggled. A boggled character can use no skills or sticks, but must stand stock still, staring off into the distance, wearing a foolish expression, or do a take. And I think there's a chart at the back of the book which will show that shows different boggle effects. In fact, if you want to grab 2d6 and roll a couple boggles when we get back there, be my guest. The animator determines when a character is boggled. If, however, a player, not character, breaks down in hysterical laughter, that player's character is definitely boggled. So don't have too much fun.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Similarly, if a player, not a character, is struck speechless for a moment, essentially this is your whole thing of like, I think I want to. Nope, you're done. You're boggled. Move on. Like this keeps you going.
Yeah.
And a cream pie in the face will always boggle somebody, and that's written into other books as well too.
Yes.
Anytime you take a cream pie in the face.
Here, this is where it can get seemingly unfair because everyone knows that friend who is just really good at cracking other people up. Really good at turning a joke, really good at that.
Yep.
And he can constantly win fights against your character because he gets you to laugh. If he gets you to laugh and you have trouble talking because of it, you're boggled.
But there's a good news side to that. If you don't care and you're all playing and having fun, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It does matter when you're competitive and you're playing a stupid cartoon game competitively, that my group did.
Fair. Yep, that is fair.
And I've got to admit, I was just as competitive as the game master or the animator. It was bad all around. There were no good people in that one. Cartoon characters who are boggled may react. What was that? Seems like a game for people who think success will pay.
It can.
King. Yes.
It absolutely can.
Now, the one caveat to that, though, is there are going to be limitations based on the adventure.
Yes, the animator has to give limitations to make the goal of the adventure still attainable.
Yes. I mean, if the story is to get the Hassenpfeffer, you're not going to be sitting down taking over the king's throne. That just doesn't fit with the adventure
doesn't
arc.
Advance the plot.
Right. But outside of that, how to get the Hassenpfeffer,
You got to be king to do it. I don't know. Makes it easier, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you order the king to go get the Hassenpfeffer. Yeah. There you go. So cartoon characters who are boggled may react interestingly. The victims turn pure white or take... there's a chart for all this, okay? But you want your players involved. So when the Brontosaurus looks at me, I dissolve into a little green puddle. If the players come up with something interesting, let the player have that interesting behavior. Yeah. You don't have to roll and you don't have to determine for the character what happened. Let the player do it. Let the players be involved.
Right. I mean, this game takes player agency into account. It really does. Give the players as much as they want. But when you don't want them to have any more, you just hit the brake, and you can. Now, the cool thing about when they describe the animator is part storyteller and part referee. You're telling a story, number one. You're referee, number two. So let them use adjectives in the story. That's fine. Let them turn green with literally green with envy, or let them let their tongue get unnaturally long to lick all of the whipped cream off their face. That's fine. That's fine. All of that is cosmetic nonsense that they want to do to have fun. Let them have fun.
Yep.
But that little tongue MacGuffin later on cannot be used to reach out and grab something prehensile like and bring it back to the person later on. No.
Unless you're a frog.
Unless you're a frog that has that shtick.
Right.
And there you go. Then that's a completely legal move.
This is a perfect example right here. I think Heathen Dog segued into it, whether he did it on purpose or not. I don't know. Anytime a character saws a hole in the floor or through a tree branch, the animator applies the 50% rule. On a die roll of 1, 2, 3, the character saws a hole in the floor or through the tree branch, which falls. On a 4, 5, or 6, the floor surrounding the area being sawed falls, leaving a circular piece of floor suspended. Yeah. So I think 4, 5, and 6 is too much. I would dwindle it down to just 5 and 6. But all depends on your game. And here are your stupid monkeys again. God, I hate monkeys. Characters and real animals. That's the whole monkey thing. So in Toon Universe, there are animals and they're animals. Players can take on the role of animals with attribute skills and perhaps sticks. They're just plain real animals as well. Any animal that talks is a character. Any animal that doesn't talk is just an animal. And I'm not going to read more on that. You can buy the book or get the book. By the way, Steve Jackson Games does sell the PDFs for, not for all of the books. They don't have all of them, which I find really odd. But for the main books that you would need, and you can get it. It's $15 for each of the PDFs, which I thought was a little expensive, but hey, it is what it is. And here we go. Lots of cartoons use signs as running gags. Heathen Dog talked about this earlier. Duck season, rabbit season. Duck hunting season open and danger minefield. Characters pull them out of their back pockets and use them to fool or intimidate each other. You can too. Even if you didn't take a sign as one of your possessions at the start of the adventure, anyone can always pull a sign out of nowhere. This can get out of hand. It will say whatever the character wants. Dynamite, why did you do that? If you can read this, you're too close, or whatever. Kind of like Wile E. Coyote every time he fell.
He always pulls out, eek.
Yeah.
Oh no. Why? My life sucks. Whatever. Yeah.
Yep. The animator may or may not require a read roll from anybody who sees the sign. If it slows the story down, or if it'd be funny to have the characters know what the sign says, no read roll is necessary. That last part is very important. If it would be funny. So they can figure it out automatically. But if character's amazingly dumb, or if it'd be funny to have someone misinterpret the sign, go ahead and ask for read rolls. Now that goes to the flip side. That goes to the Roadrunner, who can't read that he's eating marbles. Reading the sign only counts as an action if you make read roll, etc., etc. Once the sign has had its effect, warning or convincing other characters, for instance, it goes away. You can't keep running to the same gag over and over again.
Right.
Moving doesn't matter. We're passing out plot points again. And how to use plot points, we kind of already talked about that. The perfect animator. I think this is the last part we need to read. I might be wrong. The TOON commandments. Ready? Forget everything you know about role-playing. Our group could not do that. We broke commandment number 1 because we could not do this. Act before you think. Know the rules. Checking the rules is slow. Slow is bad. And I think you guys saw that the rules of this game are pretty darn simple.
Yeah.
Know your character as yourself. If you want to do it, exaggerate it. If it's simple, complicate it. Yeah, see, that's again, this is a rule that we broke. We were trying to find, but that's efficiently the right way to do it. No. If you're in a jam, do whatever you can to make it worse. See, it's okay to fail. When in doubt, recap. When you can't recap, make something up. When you can't make something up, Heathen Dog's favorite rule.
Cheat.
There you go.
Cheaters win. There's no stigma on success.
There you go. Anything else? Writing cartoons. Writing cartoons means making your own adventures.
Let's define recap.
Okay.
Anytime things start getting out of hand and you're not sure what's going to happen, take a moment to recap what each character is doing. Okay, the gremlins up front riding the bullhorns, rabbits, and okay. Recapping will give you a chance to think of something funny. This is an animator tool as well as
Yes.
a player tool. Okay, if you as a player can't think of the next thing to do or something good, ask the animator to recap. It'll give you time to think.
But don't do it every action.
No, don't do it every action. Don't be a dick about it, but you can call for a recap. That's fine. And then it gives you time to think of something to do or give you an idea of something to do. And then here's what they mean by cheat. If the players just refuse to follow the storyline, you can't think of a way to get them back on track during your recap. Drop the crucial events of storyline in whenever you like. This is what I was saying earlier. If they go too far off the reservation, remember, you're storyteller 1, referee number 2. If they are running away from your story, you have the power, nay, you have the commandment to railroad them back on track. Does that require being hit by a train? Maybe. Maybe it does. You can literally hit them with the railroad. That's fine. Do whatever you can to get them back on track. Lie, cheat, and steal to get them back on track. The more they bitch about it, the more you laugh at them.
Yeah, if they're starting to bitch, that means they're taking the game too seriously. This is a cartoon.
Exactly. Yes, you laugh at them saying if you're angry at me, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. The italics text here, if you want to.
Ignore any rule or die roll which would prevent something funny from happening. Ignore logic and the laws of nature. Funny is all that matters. That's it.
My fault's got it right. You can just bring them back with a lasso.
Lasso, that's right. Or a clown with a hook.
Clown with the hook. There you go.
That's good too.
And if you guys, I don't know if you guys can read them or if you have been, but some of the stuff on the side, like, the earthquake pills, it's always fun. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? The final fade out. Okay, that's when it ends. Okay. The rest of this book, we're on page 63 of 212. The rest of this are just adventures. Well, until the charts at the back. It's great. You don't have an idea? There are like 10 of them or something. I don't know exactly how many are in here. I can look at the index. Actually, I don't care that much. It doesn't matter. There are a ton of adventures in here. And I have another book with a whole bunch of other adventures. How many are there? How to do everything, fine tuning. The adventures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 of them. And then it talks about how to do a cartoon series, which is more like a campaign.
Yeah, how to write your own season, basically.
Yep. Quick flicks, which are like one shots. Adventure generator, it's actually pretty neat. There you go. You're not sure what you want to do? Roll in that random chart. Let's actually go to that.
Chart.
It looks like. Yep. Roll a d6. And do you have a d6 next to you or no?
No, I have a d10. Damn it.
3. Okay. So you'll have a battle adventure. Players fight a bad guy in a location, and your bad guy in location. Well, here's your locations. So, 7 and. Actually, you can't roll a 7 on it. Oh, so would that be a 4 and a 3?
Yeah.
A 3 and a 4? Okay, 34 in a bar.
Okay.
But you get how it's done. So you can actually just roll your own random adventures and have fun with that. Now, the one thing I would say about this game that makes it kind of niche, other than it's a cartoon game, is it really is made for people with good imaginations.
Yes, you really have to be able to roll with the punches, come up with ridiculous nonsense that has to be funny. That is the only rule. They've said it many times in this game. Funny beats everything else.
And that is something I do not excel in.
mean,
At least not like that.
I can do it, but it takes a lot of mental energy to get off of the logical track. It takes a lot for me. But physics means nothing against funny.
Right.
Yeah. Succeeding or losing a die roll means nothing when facing funny or not funny.
So here's some boggle effects. You said 34 before. We'll do it again. Do a passable imitation of a bucking mule. And we'll see 62. Turn into a ballerina and do a little dance. All these are different. Again, if the character or the player comes up with a boggle effect on his own, let him do it. But if not, you can always roll on here. We did like the boggle charts. And then things falling from the sky, because how many times we talked about anvils? Well, anvils get boring. So what happens if we have 10,000 frogs? It's awesome. A plague. Or
a skunk.
A skunk. That's not fun.
Or an elephant.
A bathtub with bather.
A whale. Well, someone read too many books, but okay.
A battleship.
Awesome. Steamroller, classic.
Random item table, random trap table. Let's see. Let's just scroll right here. 53. Camouflage hole in the ground 10 feet deep. 1 die from the fall. Train roars onto the scene, flattening all characters. 2 dice damage. Wow. Yep. Random disguise table. I'm disguised as lit dynamite. There you go. Wow. I can be a unbelievably silly species table. I can be a microchip. Oh, it says only. It's Bit from Tron.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yes or no only. 1 and 0.
And again, some of this art is just, it just provides that right feel. All right. See, lots of charts, and then the index. Okay.
But the only reason the charts exist is to increase the funny.
Yes.
That's it.
And if you can't do it on your own,
no,
then you've got something. Yeah, you've got the chart. Expand those charts, make them bigger, make them better, add your own stuff.
100%.
Are one of y'all going to run this game? I would not be a good player or animator for the game. I would be bad at both. I wish I could. This is the type of game I would love to be able to play, but I would not be. This is a failing in my life. I would not be good for it. Now, this was the main book. If you want to go through some of the chat real quickly, because I'm going to grab the other book and show it what we're going to do next week.
Let's see. Martian teleportation beams, and just to make it funny, have it teleport them and reassemble them wrong. Yes, that'd be good. That would be excellent. The game where everybody's taking a little. Yes, that's true. One time way back when, nice change of pace from serious RPG. If your people can handle it.
So next week.
Did
you find a good one?
Last night I was thinking how to run Scooby-Doo as an RPG. This might work with some tweaking. Scooby-Doo, while yes, ridiculous, is a little bit less ridiculous than TOON. But
yeah.
But I do believe it can be properly outfitted to run a Scooby-Doo feel. Because also no one dies in Scooby-Doo. Right? So being death immune is fun. There are points where people are so shocked or scared as to lose an action that's easily a boggle.
Or Scooby-Doo and Shaggy just running in place for 10
yes, running in place, or the whole doors go everywhere shtick.
Yep.
Doors go open to a random other door type thing. When with the whole chase scene that always happens. That's doable here. And Chris Black is with Schlo.
Zoinks. What? Yeah, it's super fun to watch. Oh, man, you get the right players. This is what I would like to see Critical Role run. I mean, they're voice actors, right? They have that improv capability behind them. There we go. I would watch a Critical Role of this as much as I
wasting themselves on 5e.
Yeah. So next week, Heathen Dog's looking at more. We're going to go through the TOON Universal Guide. Now, why is this going to be interesting for everybody? Who knows? Well, let's find out. I don't know, because I think Heathen Dog's going to talk to us about Crawl of Cthulhu.
It's ridiculous. I love it.
There's also Dungeons and Toons, Mech Toon, Star Toon, which is Star Trek, of course, and you have Dr. Beaverly Crasher. Super Toon, Toon Punk 2020 and a half, because why? Because you have Duck Dodgers in the 23rd and a half or 24th and a half century, so you have to have Toon Punk 2020 and a half, and Toonie Tyke Adventures, which will probably be like whatever for that one. But the other ones, these are all based on different role-playing games. So we're going to cover this next week, and I think this is going to end up rounding out our 2021. I look forward to going through this. Do you have a copy of this?
I do.
You do? Okay, good. So I would actually like us to look through it a little bit just to make sure we're kind of prepared so that, we're not reading the entire book, because there are going to be some things in each one of those settings that's going to be worth talking about.
Right.
But otherwise, it's still like a 200-page book that we'd be going through. But yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about next week. And then the week after, like I said, I don't know what we're going to be doing. I'll probably still stream something, but Heathen Dog's family.
It's the day after Christmas, man. I'm probably still trying to scrounge for batteries.
Yeah, right. There you go. Okay, so did any other chat that we need to follow up on, or are we good?
No, we're pretty good.
All right. Then only thing I have to do is say, hey, come to our Discord, follow our locals, buy our stuff on Redbubble, look at the website, join us on Odyssey, YouTube, and Twitch, and if you want to donate, PayPal and Streamlabs is the best way to do it, because then you don't lose your money to the big guys.
To the
and
man.
Of course, to the men. I don't know, are they men? To the soy.
No, to the women.
Subscriber 3,000 subscriber giveaway is coming up whenever we hit 3,000 subscribers. I had somebody yell at me saying, you did that pretty early. You know you're not going to get there anytime soon. No, I want to get people excited about it. Of course I did it early. Right now we have 5 hardcovers we're giving away, and I think 2 gift cards. So, and probably going to be Drive-Thru RPG gift cards, because people get mad when you say Amazon for some reason. So, but we'll see. Anywho, but that is it. That is the end of segment 1. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed TOON, and I hope you come back for more TOON next week.